Hello, and welcome to Pale Reflections, a proud member of the Doof Network, where we reflect on Wildbow's most reflected work as it releases. I'm Jenny. That's pronounced like my favorite restaurant, Denny's. Elliot, you bastard. You motherfucker.
And I'm Malia, and I know just as much about Pact as anyone other than Wildbow.
Yay! Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is very exciting. Very exciting development, guys. That's right. We are done.
With
Mostly.
Pact.
With Pact.
On our other podcast. On our podcast.
Yeah. This is surprise, guys. This is the shortest episode that you've ever had. But speaking of getting to the end, though, All Packed Up 2 is coming up. It's coming right up. So, feel free to contribute, if you can, if you want to, just go to doofmedia.com/contribute. So.
Yeah, they need lots of memes and lots of fan art, nominations, all sorts of
encouragement,
good stuff.
You know, just good vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you contribute vibes online, but I'm sure you can. Also, I'm going to just read this verbatim. Okay, so they said, please tell all Australians listening to make sure they go out next week and vote yes in the voice referendum. It's stupid as fuck that the Australian Constitution doesn't recognize our First Nations peoples, and this is our chance to fix it. So you heard it, folks.
It's October 14th. Go vote.
Go vote!
Woo!
Get your butts out and vote, because apparently you'll get fined if you don't.
Oh yeah, Australia.
Yeah.
Get a sausage? Do you do that for referendums?
Huh? Wait, what? What do you mean get a sausage?
They have like barbecues where like you get hot dogs, but
what?
Like, yeah, sausage sizzle.
Can't you like not even do that here? Because
sizzles. I'm gonna Google sausage.
You can't even freaking pass out water here. I don't think, right?
It's complicated.
Because isn't it like bribery or something? I don't know. Anyway, enjoy your patriotic barbecues. And
vote yes.
That sounds great. Vote.
Woo.
Vote yes, specifically. If you at least don't know which way to vote. Vote yes. Because we're telling you to. So, you're welcome.
We definitely have heard about this before. Literally now.
We're
super informed.
We're so informed. We're super informed. And, we've done all the thinking for you. So if you don't want to think, just yes. Yes is the way to go. All right. So we're going to be talking today about Loose Ends, episode 5. It is 3 seasons since the defeat of Charles, and Lucy is assisting Jessica as she teaches a course on omens to a group of aware others and practitioners. There's a lot of people at this class, man.
I know. I thought it was interesting the order that she lists them in. Like, it's not like Verona and Avery and then other people. It's like, these people, and Shit Pants is here. Oh, I guess Verona and Avery are here with these other people. And it was like, it was cool. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, them just, like, talking about Shit Pants randomly really, like, threw me off. Because I was like, what a...
I love that. It was like, Shit Pants, you remember. He's important. You've heard of him.
Like, oh, okay. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It was a spooky slideshow. Because Shit Pants, who doesn't need to be scared any more than he already is, was getting scared again. Because the slideshow was moving.
Yeah, I'm hoping Jessica can help him out, because it sounds bad.
It sounds bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if your nickname is Shit Pants because you keep shitting your pants out of fear.
Right.
That is a bad time.
It's a bad time.
Which, I mean, I'm going to be honest though, Malia, I don't know if his nickname's going to change if he fixes that. Because people are shitty. Maybe he can be Hot Pants.
Okay. Oh, that's fun.
It actually wasn't a joke.
Okay.
But which I'm like that. If it was, that was a really bad joke.
I know, but you paused, and so I wasn't sure.
No, I was thinking. No, my pause was trying to think about other pants nicknames. So Hot Pants, if he's a good dancer.
Yeah, maybe he can join the dancer club.
They could have done Scaredy Pants. That would have been nicer than Shit Pants.
Yeah, but can it below?
I know that's just not their vibe.
Yeah,
that's more of a can it above type of nickname.
Yeah,
that's a good point. All right, so we talk about, so Jessica's teaching a course on omens, which sounds really interesting.
There's some tension in the room, which is like I'm really happy that Nicolette's here. Um, it's a bummer that it's like not everything's totally okay yet, but I guess stuff takes time. And I love that like there's drama because Jessica refuses to be involved in drama.
Yeah.
Like Jessica's like, wait, you talked to me about your feelings about those other people in such a way that I might get involved in people having feelings, like fuck you. Ugh.
Yeah. I, Jessica's probably the first Jessica that I've heard of that doesn't like drama. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. It's good to see her. It's been a while, and yeah, I don't know. It's just like, oh, you're still a thing. That's nice.
Like you're still alive. You're contributing to Kennett, which is really cool.
You're still into this whole ruins business.
And I mean, I know that they need a lot of money to pay people, but like it still like blows my mind how much like money the Kennetiers have to like pay people with, you know? They're just like,
is this just Avery's money from like the Garricks, or like what is this?
I know. I mean, I'm sure they got money from like saving everything, but
like how? Like was there like a fund? Like
did they have a GoFundMe, but like a Otherverse GoFundMe?
Or just like there's not some sort of like the award for most like saving of this region.
And it's a monetary reward as well. Yeah, no, but just like, well, like I can't find the exact. Oh, here it is. It's like 500 for today's class, 5 for tomorrow's class, 200 for being available for consultation, and 60 for gas. I'm like, holy crap! You guys have like a fuckload of money just to throw around. Which I mean, I'm sure that they thought about this beforehand, but like, I want that kind of money to be able to pay people for stuff. I'm like, this whole thing is just getting me jealous of.
Yeah. It's like really good that they are paying people and like recognizing people's time and value, and also yeah, it's cool that some
like, how old are you guys?
14 to 15-year-olds
have that fucking cash.
Yeah.
I mean, they deserve it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. They earned it, even if it's just Avery's. Yeah, they earned that stuff.
It's good to see how Lucy is still like continuing to grow in terms of like delegation and stuff. You know, she's really helping and very much like involved and in charge of like helping facilitate this class, but she isn't like freaking out, and like she's able to get other people to help or whatever, and like not have her hands in all the pots. And so it was nice being like, oh no, you're still really involved in the stuff that you find important, but you're not
going insane.
Right.
Yeah. Like you have balance. More of a work-life balance. Seems. Definitely. Kind of random, but I just thought it was really funny when she was explaining like the eyeless or the typhlotic things. And Jessica was saying it's trying to compare it to plants, and Alpy got really salty about it. And she was like, kind of like trying to placate her, like, okay, like maybe that's not a good analogy, but if you don't want to run into plants that are like dangerous, I don't know. She just kept going with it, and she got really salty about it.
Yeah, Alpy was very fun here. Yeah. It's been a while since we've gotten to really interact with her too, and remembering like, oh yeah, ruins, and that's kind of her thing, and seeing these two interact. It's just another thing from an early part of the story that's come back. Like Jessica in general, but like I think arc 2, right, where like they are chasing the omens that Nicolette has sent in, and we're here learning about omens, and Nicolette's here, and I don't know, Alpy's here.
It's like a full circle.
Yeah.
It is kind of a funny thought, like just thinking of the Aware in the class, like, I'm sure this isn't their first class, but just imagine the first class where they all got together with all these others and the people who aren't really familiar with like Alpy or whatever, just seeing this like terrifying, scary, like
Grunge lady.
Yeah, like, yeah.
On the ceiling.
On the ceiling. Um, that has a Scottish accent and just is straight up like, chill. you know, arguing about plants. I don't know, just funny to me. Because you forget, I don't know, at least for me, I forget how, like, creepy she must look until, like, certain things, like, where they're like, oh, Alpy, light's coming on, then they're like, her hands and feet slapped on the ceiling and she crawled across it until she got to the top of the stairwell and crawled up to the floor above. And I'm like,
Right,
oh
like,
man, you look
Skitter.
so creepy. So damn creepy.
Yes. I had a thought. No, it's gone. Oh, right. Aware. Speaking of aware, Haley is now aware. We saw in the last, like, Lucy's last epilogue that Haley is, one of the people who was like, what the heck's going on? Blah blah blah. And Mia having to be like, lol, we'll tell you later. And it's like Haley got told later, but like Sharon still has not been told. Like, that's hilarious. Like, what is Sharon's deal? But also now Haley gets to experience,
yeah.
what it's like knowing and realizing you can't really tell. But maybe Sharon will get out of the innocent doghouse at some point.
She can only hope.
Yeah. It was also fun hearing about Macaulay and how she's part of the dance team. I wonder if she's going to school in Canada Above. And yeah, just, she's growing, she's changing her name.
I love that she's changing
thriving.
her name. Good
Did
for
you understand what the reference, is this a reference?
I mean, I feel like it probably is, but I don't know.
Because I was trying to think
off the top of my head.
Right, I was trying to think, do we know Anselm or Mal's last names, if they had them? Because I couldn't remember. It's like Roth rings a bell, but I don't know if that's just because one of Ben's good friends' last name is Roth.
Just makes me think of Roth IRA.
Fascinating.
I don't know why. Well, yeah, I do, because it's Roth. It's not that difficult.
I feel like that's very much not Macaulay's vibe. Like, that's not what she's going for.
Probably. Yeah, probably not. But yeah. I really liked when they were, they were trying to talk about how this place they're meeting at, it's pretty shabby. It's not that great of a spot for, like, a permanent school. And so they're trying to think about what they could do and brainstorm. And they talk about Sin Victors. And, like, Verona and Lucy are just talking about them, like, so fondly. Like, oh yeah, it's a slasher club, and, like, one person just randomly kills everybody else, and then they just come back and then do it again. Goofballs. It's like, that is not not the word I would use.
Yeah, this is like more evidence / a reminder to myself that, like, I would hate Kenneth Below. But I could see how some people would find this fun. I think I saw Wildo mention that he was sort of thinking about like, playing assassin, which was, I never did this, but I feel like it was a thing in high schools that like somebody would be the assassin and they would, like, quote unquote, like, assassinate you and you wouldn't know who it is. Like, people are playing, but you wouldn't know. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The card game? Murder? Or?
No. This was like an ongoing thing where I don't know if they had to do something. I don't know if they had to, like, shoot you with a water gun, probably not, but, like, something to, like, assassinate you. I don't know. This was a thing that I never did. Anyway.
I guess I missed the bandwagon on that too, but it sounds interesting.
Sounds fun. Just the, like, actual literal murder does not sound fun.
Yeah, it does sound great. I mean, I wouldn't want to be murdered every month over and over again, but they're goofballs, so I guess they like that.
But yeah, as we're wrapping up, and the Kenneteers are gonna split off to do their things, we get to see Avery channeling Snowdrop and freaking out.
Yeah, for a second, I actually was like, oh no, did something happen? Because she just kept saying, like, over and over
Ah.
again. But no, relatably, she's freaking out about her girlfriend. So, I feel like we've all been there.
Yeah, and this was a hype preview of the end of the chapter.
Yes. Very
And
good
it's
foreshadowing.
yeah, and it's fun seeing Avery from the outside of like, just being like, "Ah, Avery,
Yes.
it's gonna be fine."
It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be good. Um, Lucy and Verona are so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. They're like, you're a badass, and you're dashing and thoughtful, and you're a great athlete. And then she's like, well, I'm not like the top athlete. And they're like, shut up, you're a top athlete. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm. And then poor Liberty is like hiding in the bushes listening to all this. It feels so bad.
It shouldn't be this funny. It's so funny.
Okay. I didn't laugh. I felt bad. I felt so bad.
I felt bad, but thinking about it now, it's really funny. She's literally hiding in the bushes outside. It's really great.
It's like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, ah, man, I didn't speak up now. It's too late. Like, I can't. You waited too long. You can't show up now. Because it'll just be weird.
Yeah. It was Liberty. I mean, so speaking of, after Avery runs off to Aware and her girlfriend, Lucy hangs out with Liberty, who is totally over Avery. It's totally fine.
She's so over her. Totally. But really, though.
And then they go to Kennett Found to visit some prisoners. A helpfully unhelpful Nomi is there to see Kira Lynn and hint at the future plot of Otherverse stories.
Ooh. Lucy's got her guitar, which is pretty exciting for me, because she's hasn't given up on practicing.
Yeah, she's
like,
I feel like it's been a while since she's used it that we've
yeah.
seen, and so it's cool to be like, oh no, she's like actively doing this now.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of the things like that grandfather and her mom brought up before in terms of like she never plays her guitar anymore, never like does any of this stuff. So it's good. It's a proof that she's in the right direction.
Yeah. But Liberty is sad. She doesn't really have a place. America has a boyfriend. Her dad's still in prison.
Which I'm really curious what America's boyfriend's like.
Oh my god.
Like, is this like, are they really similar? Is this like an opposites attract type of deal?
Oh, I hope so. That would be so good.
Well,
just like a kind of quiet, like geeky, like, just sort of like hanging out.
For sure. It'd be so, it'd be great.
It'd be very
funny. Practitioner or not, you think?
I mean, at least aware. Like, I don't. Yeah. Or just like the chillest person who doesn't question anything.
They're someone really dense and just who does not care.
Yeah.
I wonder if their dad approves.
She's taking him to meet the dad.
Yeah, I feel like it's gotta be alright. Probably. Yeah. So they talked about oh, sorry, this is kind of random, but apparently like a good 5 or 6 people have come from Sergeant Hall, which is pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Clem did not, because she had too strong of a sense of responsibility, which Lucy relates to very well.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's any of the ones we've seen in the story. It's fun. Yeah, just, that awakening of the town ritual last chapter seems to have hopefully like, spun up the right sort of interest. Presumably these are cool people and it'd be fun to know who they were.
These girls are like insane for doing this stuff, by the way. Just because like, what other practitioners have like awoken a fucking town like that? Like, they're gonna need to write some books.
Yes, I'm sure Verona's working on one.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man. Liberty suggests going to, connect with Lucy with her dad, which Lucy feels weird about because he's kind of a prisoner still.
Yeah, I think this is interesting because I do think I almost said Anthem would be down with training with Lucy, but it it is important to acknowledge like you are a prisoner and I'm like a warden, like
Yeah,
like she's a person of significant influence in this space and he is in prison, and so I think it's
like a really
good.
nice prison, but it is a
But
prison.
still, right, and so I think it's good that she's, like, recognizing that, but I do hope that if there's other hesitancies that she gets over it later because, her training with Anthem seems very fun.
Hmm. And just like speaking of people getting over things, Liberty should. Well, there's a couple things for Liberty, I guess, in terms of getting over things. But I was gonna go into like, uh, she's kept on talking about how like she's second guessing herself and not sure where she's supposed to where she's supposed to go, and she's not accepted anywhere. And Lucy's like, honestly, like you should just come here, just stay in
Mhm,
Kennett, and
mhm.
she's just like being real. I don't know. She's resistant. She says that it doesn't fix what she's feeling, which maybe, but I don't know. But then going into the other thing that she's totally over. Um, she does not have anything about Avery anymore. Uh, just she says it's the crush has mostly run its course. Yeah. So, yeah, just like when she's saying like what she would do if she got to be with Avery, I'm like, man, you've thought about this quite a lot. You know,
Yeah,
like, yeah, you've thought about things quite a lot. Um,
it's sweet, but
it
also,
is.
um, yeah, and then later, this is later, but she, like, basically is like, "Hey, Lucy, I can take some, like, potions and be your boyfriend." It was like,
Yeah.
"You need to stop having crushes on Tears or whatever the fuck is happening, like, let's slow down."
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, I guess that's an option. I don't think that like I don't think Lucy mentioned wanting to do that, but
Right,
um
she's just, like, moving through, like, Tears who are like, increasingly less likely to want to date her,
yeah, I
like,
mean,
Avery was, like, a solid chance, and it just didn't work out. Lucy does not appear to be into girls at all, and Verona doesn't want like, isn't into romance, so, like, we're just
yeah, I mean, they are like you can't blame anyone for having like a crush on those girls because they are
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
like awesome,
Yeah,
awesome, awesome people. But yeah, I was like, well, Liberty, I feel like that kind of came out of left field.
Yeah, it was like kind of a joke, haha, let's commiserate about
But
not
like, if
having
you're
a partner,
serious,
but
I'm
also
down.
like but also
Like, if you're not serious, it's totally a joke, and I wasn't serious. But if you are serious, like, let's talk about
let's
this.
consider it.
Yeah. um, I did love here that we have confirmation that Miss Poole and Sebastian Harless are dating. They're an
Woo!
item,
And like still
and still, yeah.
it didn't fall apart in the last couple months.
And Liberty, it kind of stings, I guess, for her because she still doesn't have somebody. Um,
Yeah, I think it's, when you're in this sort of a situation and you really want a relationship, just like anyone getting into a relationship hurts because it
feels
like
like a slap in
reminds
the
you
face.
of it's like, well, they got it, why didn't I get it? And it's like this is not actually related to whether or not you're going to be in a relationship, but
Yeah.
it's still like, yeah, it
Yeah, it's
felt
still hard not to think about that.
relatable to my teenage self in a painful way.
I'm sorry. It's painful. Yeah, but let me see. I thought it was really nice. She got Lucy and Liberty coffee just while they were swinging by,
So
which is
it's
very
just
sweet.
very sweet.
Um, they kind of split up for a second, going to kind of, well, prison. Uh, Liberty goes to the nicer prison where there's more hope. And Lucy goes to the you done fucked up prison.
The you done fucked up and are continuing to fuck up.
Yep. Yeah. You done fucked up and have no signs of stopping.
Right, like Anthem went on a murder spree. That's bad.
That is bad.
He's working on it.
He's sorry now.
Kierlin is not working on it.
No, she's
digging her heels in as hard as she can.
She's one with the abyss, and she fucking loves it. And yeah,
I wonder. So I think most people are assuming that the next epilogue will be 3 years later, and it'll probably be the last one. And so if that's true, I'm wondering if we'll get any mention of her, because I don't think that 9 months is enough time for Kira Lynn to have made progress. She didn't want to. Cameron seems like, she should be on some sort of path now to something better. But like 3 years, is that enough time? I don't know. The Abyss has some hooks in this girl.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty fucked up. And I'm just really annoyed that, like, I like her name. I like the name Kira Lynn. It's just really a cool name. Yeah. And she's such a bitch. What a hateable person. And I'm like, ugh. I couldn't you have been named, like, I don't know, like...
Stacy. Stacy's a fine name, but it's not as fun as Kira Lynn.
Yeah, Gertrude. Less fine of a name, but, like, more matches, you know? No offense to Gertrudes, I'm sure there's a bunch of lovely Gertrudes out there, just not my fave name. But Kira Lynn just sounds cool. And Lynn's my middle name, random factoid, you know? Which I'm like, cool. And now it's like, giving all the Lynn's, people with Lynn's in the middle, you know, a bad name. So, screw you, man.
I mean, I do think, though, that, like, she's very hateful and angry and, like, explicitly threatens everyone Lucy loves, and, like, it's bad. And she is being bad. But she's also, like, and, like, it's like she chose the Abyss, but it's still influencing her. And I think that, like, sometimes, like, sad and angry people don't want to feel better.
That's very true.
They, like, maybe part of them thinks that they deserve it, or it's just scary to, like, admit that maybe you're wrong and maybe you can change and maybe you don't actually have to feel this way, and the only thing keeping you feeling this way is yourself. And so I can see why or how she would not want to change.
That's true, and that's even without the Abyss. And with the Abyss, it'd probably be very difficult.
Right. But she is in a bad state. You know, her arms are, like, gone, and whenever they try to fix them, they, like, slough off in horrible ways. She's at the point where she watches TV and listens to music at the same time.
That's the real bad part.
My personal, literal hell. Like, too many sounds happening.
Terrible.
I lose it. Like,
that's the worst part about this whole
It's so awful. It's like Ben leaves a video playing, like, slightly too long. I freak out. Like, you can't talk while this is happening. Stop.
Yeah, no, it's awful. I'm thinking, like, I don't know. Hopefully, if they can get the Abyss out of her, maybe they'd have better luck with mending her arms as well.
I wasn't sure when I was reading if Kira Lynn was more receptive to help, would her arms be healing more? Like, is that something she's kind of helping, or is it just, like, no matter what she does, she's fucked at this point, arms-wise?
I would think now it would be more in her favor to have arms, because she could, like, probably do more practicey stuff, right?
Yeah, that's fair. But you know, they're trying to help her, they're trying to heal her, and it might be a spite thing. Like, you know.
That's true. I do absolutely love that they tied in bureaucracy to, like, her hands. It's like she's got 2 red gloves that, you know, moves an arm. The corresponding glove, like, has a 3 or 4 second delay, in a different building. A small team of administrative foundlings received every request for the hand intent in meeting and had to sign off on it. Which, just like, oh man, that's the real torture.
Yeah, although it's an example of them really trying to give her as much agency as, like, be as
Oh, it's
good
great.
of captors as they can, while still preventing her from hurting herself or other
Flipping
people.
someone off.
Yeah, part of me feels like they could have let her do that, but it's fine, I guess.
I mean, I'd be like, nah. You don't get to use my hand to flip off our savior lady, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
This does remind me of Talking Mickey.
Of what?
Talking Mickey. I don't
What?
know if you can still meet Talking Mickey, but I met Talking Mickey. We were to Disney World. We would hang out in the parks a lot, and so at the time in Magic Kingdom, you could meet Talking Mickey, and so how it worked, I believe, was that there's a person in the Mickey suit, and they're the body, they're moving, they're doing hand motions, they're nodding, they're doing all the standard things that happen when you meet Mickey, but then the head is being controlled by someone in Animal Kingdom with a PlayStation controller.
And a headset?
No, because it's all pre-recorded options for what Mickey can say and do to
Okay, that makes sense.
communicate with you.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting thing where I'd say hi, or we'd ask a question, or we'd respond to a question he asked or whatever, and the body would like react faster. Like the body would start like nodding and doing various things, so it wasn't like this weird awkward.
Like
It wasn't
pause.
as awkward of a pause, but there was still a pause between the body like being like yeah, and the head being like yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's Carolyn.
That's Carolyn. Carolyn is wow. That is a comparison I would not have thought we would get.
Yeah, just picture some foundlings with a PlayStation controller.
So like instead of like the red hands, they just need like the Mickey hands.
The gloves. Ah!
Which may be a little bit less practical. But well, it can still make it work.
Yeah.
I think
grab stuff.
I feel like Carolyn would. Okay, on one hand, maybe she'd like it because it's like white and black. Maybe like more of her aesthetic. On the other hand, she'd probably be like, "Fuck you guys for giving me Mickey Mouse hands."
Yeah, no, she would not.
No, she would not like it. It would not. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. It would maybe if in this universe they don't have Mickey Mouse and she recognize it. But
yeah.
I
But
don't think so.
I do like how like the text, like Lucy really points out like the moral and philosophical problems with having a prison, and thinking about Charles and how like a lot of his whole vibe was reacting to his experience with prison, and like that's why he was forsworn, and like but like reflecting on like why they still made this choice in Kennet, and how they're trying to make it as humane as possible. And yeah, I don't know, it was I didn't draw the connection to Charles, and I appreciated that the text did it for me.
Yeah. I found it kind of satisfying yet frustrating at the same time, but I feel like mostly satisfying that like Carolyn was trying to say a bunch of shit to get a reaction, and Lucy was like, she had some retorts ready, she could have said stuff, but it wasn't useful, it wouldn't have been productive, so she just like didn't acknowledge her and just turned away, and it drove Carolyn so much more insane.
Yep.
And there's a lot of times when like I feel like we know just as people it's better to just let it go, and if you win by being the better person or not reacting, like that actually drives the other person a little bit crazy.
Yep.
You don't always get to see it, but we got to see it.
Yeah. We also got to see Nomi, who I forgot about.
Nomi. Yeah. Nomi's back.
But it's cool seeing, what happened to some of the Red Heron.
Yeah.
And like, or I guess like the ex Red Heron, like these were the ones who like were like, no, we don't like this before it went like really bad or like all to shit or whatever. It's a bummer that the Alabaster Assembly was like, yeah, no, that their oath to not help you, that's still a thing. Because like it seems like Nomi is like the things that y'all are doing are cool, and yet I cannot help you. So I will just say like cryptic things to make us all hype for the next Otherverse story.
That's right.
And walk off into the night.
Walk off into the night. I mean, they kind of talked about what they think it probably is, at least later, so it's not like...
True. I wonder how Nomi knows anything about that, but I don't know.
I mean, she's got her ways, I guess, that she can't tell because it would have been helping.
This is helpful.
Because it's helpful.
Yep.
Love that she's like, screaming makes it worse, maybe I better not visit. And then she's like, he's like, yeah, that's a good point. I might tell the others not to visit. Not that I'm cooperating with you.
Right, everything she says has to be like...
It's like, yeah, this is not me cooperating. Fucking Abyss is such a hassle. It's like, yeah, staff says they need to dress her stumps, but the abyssal part of things leaches into the bandages. Like, jeez, what a pain in the butt.
Right, to just have these things that can't be healed.
Yeah.
Maybe they can get some like Abyss practitioners to come by
that are like
some like
nicer.
Good Abyss practitioners. Yeah, some like chill. Maybe there's some like consultant out there that does some.
Yeah, maybe there's like a scourge out there. Scourge out there that just doesn't have that much to do with her life anymore.
Yeah,
maybe it's feels like helping people out,
giving back.
Pay
it forward, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Paying it forward. Sorry, Kierlan's still screaming, but no one can hear. Talking about like Teddy and Cameron. So it's like Cameron is getting off relatively lightly. What is it saying? What was it saying Teddy was doing exactly? He was...
isn't he with Miller? Like, I think Miller was his teacher, and he fucked off because he made that deal during the fight. And I think Teddy, like, ran away and is with him. Like, they didn't catch him or something.
Honestly, like, Kierlan is a cool name. Teddy sounds like teddy bear. And yeah, they're like the two biggest... assholes.
It's a problem. Yeah.
It's a problem. Like, man. And then, like we talked about, Jessica doesn't like drama. What is it with the names and the stereotypes?
Yeah.
It's not matching up.
Breaking
the stereotypes.
Yeah.
Some of these are kind of loose. I'll admit that. But, I don't know. That's what I'm going with. And I thought it was interesting that, like, Lucy took, like, Kierlan's black stumps as an omen as well.
In what way?
Well, in terms of like, she's saying, she mentioned it at one part. Said like, Kierlan stumbled back, sat down on the cot. Black stumps, like black wings broken. An animal could be a living omen. Jessica had said, if a crow could represent one thing and a dog another, or a horse something else, then what was Kierlan? Charred, black, arms broken.
Bad.
Yeah, that's a hell of an omen.
Yeah,
that's a bad omen. Like abyssal charred arms,
broken wings.
That's a bad one.
Yep.
So then she meets back up with Liberty again. So next on the Lucy Liberty tour is Kin It Below, where Lucy gives Liberty some ideas for Goblin and Goblin-adjacent fairy daycare. And we learn that Grandfather really loves being a dog. Which, good for him, man.
Yeah,
That's
it was great.
Needed.
Like, seeing this big Mastiff boy come in and, like, realizing what that means and just, so cute, so good.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so happy. Like, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Like,
and it tells me that, like, the others have got to get on their next big ritual, because now it's in balance. I hope we see another implement ritual, like, in another Otherverse story soonish, because that was really awesome, and it was so long ago.
Yeah.
I really want to know what, I want to know especially what Verona takes, but I'm curious about Avery too.
Yeah. Me too. I thought it was really funny when like Lucy's like, delegate, and she's like, delegate me like I'm one of your goblins. Hey, little bitch, can you run a fucking errand for me? I can run an errand for you, Liberty. I can run such a good errand.
Has Lucy ever
Sounded
been like this ever in the entire
no.
It was
Like,
incredible.
holy
I
crap!
was like, what are you doing?
What a
who
vibe!
Is this? Who are you?
I was like, you're trying to sound like an excited, over-enthusiastic goblin. Yeah, man. And then she's like, yeah, it's about Red Cap Queen, which, fuck.
Yeah, this is more fun, cryptic future setup. We first heard about her, I think when Blunt Munch was like, yeah, I'm running away from her. And then Elliot's favorite character, Breastbiter,
I was going to say Tit Muncher.
Also
Same
good.
thing.
They were both
also good.
He was running away from her as well, and I feel like we learned that like she killed a goblin that was like more powerful than Charles or something. I was like not entirely clear.
I'd say it was a bigger deal as a goblin than Charles Abram was as a judge. So that's pretty crazy.
It's basically saying like she's going to be harder to defeat. Like she's you know, she's more powerful like than y'all.
The big bad.
Yeah, or just like you level up.
Do you think she's so angry, Malia, because she's named Gerhild? I feel like that's a good motivator.
That's a bad name.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than like...
You don't sound convinced.
Shit pants butthole. Whatever. Like, it's at least it's kind of a name.
I mean, but Shit Pants is a nickname. I mean, his actual name's not good either. But yeah.
His actual name is worse.
I mean, look, I'm not saying it's a good reason, Malia. I'm just saying, could that be at the core?
I guess. I've also thought about, like, Red Cap Queen. Does she wear a little red hat? Because, like, I've pictured the past 3 years. Or she makes or it's like a little toadstool mushroom hat, or like she makes all her goblins wear that. Like, what is
I was thinking more of a mushroom, but like I know that red caps are like super poisonous, aren't they?
I don't know anything.
I know I mean, off the top of my head, at least I think they're like pretty deadly mushrooms.
You liked environmental toxicology, so you'd know way better than I would.
Like, I didn't learn that much in there. I am upset at myself because I had the opportunity to take a class called Mushrooms, Mold, and Society, and I didn't take it. And it's one of my big regrets, along with not being able to take tractor driving. But that was too popular. I couldn't sign up for it in time.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would have known everything about red caps if I had taken that class, but I did not. Anyway. And society. Whatever the society part means. Who knows? Anyone going to UC Davis? It's probably still a class. I don't know.
Comprehensive overview of those 3 topics.
Exactly. Mushrooms, mold, and society. And everything society. You need to know. Such a good name. Anyway.
But this little game show thing is very fun, and I kept waiting for it to be really cringe and awful, and it never was. And thank you, Wildbow, that this was just good all around.
I thought it was going to be cringy too at first, and then I was like, oh man, it's not. It's not cringy. This is adorable and wonderful. I love it. Oh my gosh.
I was like, Lucy's playing the guitar. What? Like, just
it was great. It was really good. I also love that Liberty like added her basic bitch wardrobe to her like goblins. Dressing.
So funny.
Thing. That was pretty funny.
The idea that she wants to get to the point where she like can't dress herself.
I know. Like, what's a weird? I mean, why not? Everyone has goals. It's a strange goal, but
that's awesome. Yeah, and I love. I mean, like, so we got Cherry Pop, who's always great. We got the little toad goblin who it was so good to see her and learn what her name will be but isn't yet.
Yes.
And then we got the dude with the floorboards, and then also we got Pistol Doom, which was so fun, and the fact that Lucy's like, she's totally not a fairy, like, and all the other goblins just are like, yeah, she's not a fairy, like, and she's just freaking out. It was so cute and funny. Where do they find this little adorable creature? They're all so good.
And Cherry Pop actually brought an impressive rock. Which is pretty... I mean, the rock itself was not a surprise, but the impressive part...
Yeah, that, like, John had given her this rock. Like, was it a rock he accidentally found in something, or was it, like, a rock that he purposely kept, or, like, what was this rock? But also...
I mean, it was from a battlefield, even if it's an accidental battlefield rock.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. So yeah, but it's like, basically like the points don't matter. Everyone kind of like, you know, gets to build themselves up a bit.
Right, the point is to celebrate everyone for the things, like who they are and what they're doing, not to like tear other people down. And so Lucy makes it so that like the points kind of even out in the end because, yeah.
Grandfather just kind of comes down and just like kind of lays down. And she's like, you're not even going to switch to human to say hi? And he's like, opened his eyes. And then he closed his eyes.
He's like, literally, why would I?
Yeah, like, no. I'm a fucking dog. This is it. This is the life.
I don't have to say hi to you, and these goblins don't know what's happening, so we're good.
Yeah. I like how they talked about like how the familiar bond was a little bit different than Avery and Snowdrop's.
Mm-hmm.
And specifically, like, Lucy could have some privacy, which is kind of nice. And yeah, it's cool that they were able to still tweak that a bit.
Right, because he is a man. And also the idea that like, oh yeah, if you ever have to like shoot someone in the head like John did that one time, it'll be really convenient that I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Like, that'd be great to shoot that, like to shut that part off for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a fun, like, I don't know, seeing Lucy being goofy is weird, but
refreshing
cool.
And weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she needs it.
Yeah. And it's fun that she's like, yeah, again, she's recognized or identified things that are important to her. The school or like education seems important, and then helping, I mean, just deciding that helping these little goblins grow up and not be like pounded into the dust until they grow up to pound other people into the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I think of Verona and Avery as having more to do with goblins, just in terms of like Snowdrop and Peckersnot. But like Toadswallow and Bubblegum are really important figures to Lucy, and so it's, I don't know, it's cool seeing this little reminder. I don't know, it's sweet.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
Okay, and finally we have a perspective switch where Nora decides to not break up with Avery when she finally reveals her big secret.
Way to like just freak us all out with that first statement, though.
That was so funny.
I was like, what is this? What? And then, no, it's fine.
I bet it also really upset Avery to hear, you know? Like,
yeah,
Avery could probably tell that it wasn't serious, but also, what if it is serious?
Yeah, I would have been like legitimately kind of like upset about that. I think. Yeah, I would have been upset. But yeah, so it's the moment that we've all been waiting for. Get to see how Nora reacts to magic.
Yeah, Walbo makes up for us not seeing Lucy and Grandfather's ritual by letting us see this. And it's fun that Nora doesn't freak out at all. Like, it's just, like, she's a person that I think magic will be really good for. Like, whether she becomes a practitioner or not. Like, she just is very much like, yeah, I'm gonna go run a path with my girlfriend, and I don't even know what that means. Like, just
Yeah.
like, and getting to see Snowdrop, and Snowdrop being really hilariously like foot in her mouth.
Yeah.
But it's great.
It's great. Oh, freaking Snowdrop. Like, of course. That was cool. That was pretty cool, though. Just.
God, what is it exactly that she said? Like, I wish you weren't here. Like, it sucks that you stuck around. Like,
Yeah. Like, Octavia, she's just like, yeah, chocolate's bad for possums. And, oh, this is a disappointment. You're still here, and that's just plain awful.
Incredible.
Poor Nora. I mean, it's like she's rolling with it, like, super, super well, but she's also, like, freaked out. But, like, she's handling, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so when I was reading it, I didn't even quite catch when, like, Avery showed her the promenade, just because it was so, like, chill. Like, I was expecting, like, a freak out or something, but it was just like, oh, you're not making this up? This is real? Okay. Like,
yeah. No,
cool.
me too. Me too.
But, yeah. As long as, I mean, like, high school and middle school and high school relationships don't need to last forever, and fiction does set somewhat unrealistic expectations in that vein, but also I really hope it's not like 3 years later, oh yeah, Nora, I haven't talked to her in 2 years. Like, I just like in this instance, considering how the story is being written, it'd be cool if they were still a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be really funny though if they were like, "Oh yeah, remember Sebastian and your lawyer used to date? That was weird."
Who knows? Maybe they'll be married, Malia.
Wow. Maybe.
You never know.
Okay, big prediction.
Okay.
Next chapter is going to be set at their wedding. That's where pale. That's the natural conclusion to the story.
That's a pretty big prediction. I thought you were gonna say like they'll have a baby.
No, this is a better. I mean, it'd be cute if they did. Dying.
I mean, the wedding would be pretty sweet too. I'd love to see a Otherverse wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, even bigger prediction, Malia. It's Avery's wedding.
That's not.
That's not. No, they're too young. I forgot how old they were for a second. No, I take it back. I mean, I guess they could, but
if
like
it's 3 years later, quote unquote, next chapter, I think they'll be 17.
Yeah,
are they all 14 by the?
I think.
End of
But I mean, even if they were 18, that's too young.
Yeah,
that's too young. It's not gonna be Avery's wedding. Yeah, 3 years later. No. It's gonna be someone's wedding.
Yep.
It's gonna be someone's wedding.
I do like
comedy,
the lawyers. And comedies end in weddings. That's what Shakespeare taught us.
That's the way Shakespeare taught us. That's right. See who else could be getting married. Ooh, Jasmine.
And
yeah.
Yeah. We just completely skipped their entire relationship. It's like, and they got married.
It's fine. Like, we can skip a familiar, ritual. We can skip a dating relationship. It's fine.
I was gonna say Matthew and Louise, but I think Matthew might need some more time.
Yeah. You might need more time before getting married.
You never know. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's a great prediction.
Louise the best. Carlos's wedding. Prediction.
I also do like at the end of this, they had cake. Like,
yeah, that was really sweet that she thought to get a cake, and I don't know.
Yeah, she brought cake, and she was like, my mom actually probably been more freaked out about the cake than about,
this entire, yep.
Just like, that's so, I don't even know if you're joking or not, and you probably don't either. And then the last line where like Avery felt the opposite of lost like this. That was amazing. That's exactly what we needed to hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially, seeing the first chapter of this arc.
Yeah.
Like we're really seeing these girls heal, which is great.
We need a lot of healing.
Yep.
Yeah. And I have to say, like, I know a lot of people were speculating about like who the epilogues were going to be about. And I do have to say, I am really glad that they still have focused on the trio. Because I think I would have been kind of bummed if they just went to other people's perspectives and we didn't get to be in their perspectives again for the end of this.
Right. Well, I think
it
especially that it ended where it did. Like, if this was, like, the last numbered arc, and then they had a bunch of random, like, let's pop in and see people.
Yeah, that'd be one thing.
But, like, I think seeing this aftermath is really important, like, for the girls.
I agree.
But I want to talk about the Pale Predictor, which I guess there's still time if anyone wants to fill out the Pale Predictor form, which is linked below, probably.
I mean, Malia, you just made a prediction. You can fill it out. You can do it.
Yeah, I might go do that. But in the meantime, there was one placed recently that I thought was fun, especially because I don't remember anything about this, but good for this person for pulling this. So Fancy Swamp says that they don't know if we're ever going to find this out, but maybe January March's practitioner partner is Omarian Chant, the calendar ritualist from the BHI student guide. To which I say, who the fuck is that? Did we meet them? I assume they're like an older student, but also I don't remember it all. But calendar ritualist sounds literally perfect.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. We were going to do a discussion question, but basically they said we didn't have to and that we needed to just say thank you. So on behalf of Elliot and Ruben, thank you for all your support and for listening.
And for contributing to All Packed Up Too.
Woo!
Which you can do at doofmedia.com/contribute.
That's right. That was a good segue, Malia. I love it. Okay.
Yeah. Get hyped for the event of the year.
That's right. We're gonna have discussion threads on Reddit and Discord that you can talk to people about the episode, which would be awesome.
Yep.
Also review us on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher, pretty please. If it's still a thing, you can check out our Twitter. It is a thing. Just it's weird. It's a weird thing.
Yeah. Also, you should check out doofmedia.com and check out all of our cool podcasts, as we mentioned, for a shameless self-plug. We just finished covering Pact. We're going to cover Poke and then do a retrospective episode, which we could use your help for. So if you want to tell us how great we are, which you could use your help
this is
on
like
our feed.
Not our normal podcast, but if you think that we're great, come on over and help us out with that. But otherwise, Ruben and Elliot should be back for next week. So it'll be good. Got Patreons that you should definitely think about contributing to if you want to contribute. Got ours, just patreon.com/doofmedia. We've also got Wild Bows if you want to keep contributing to him writing super awesome tales of whimsy. Just at patreon.com/wildbow.
Also, after this, we're gonna do a very short back to Pact because I can.
Woo! Alright, that's exciting. Because she can.
If you've read Pact all the way through, like me.
That's right. This is very exciting. So, okay, well, on that note, I know Elliot's been dropping some pretty sweet pickup lines, and he picked one out for me.
Because apparently you made it up.
He said, Jenny made this one up, and I insist she uses it here. Which, okay, it feels weird, but anyway, it's gonna be fine. You must have been made by Grimsey, because you're the best thing I've ever tasted. There you go.
And now we're going back to Pact.
To Pact. Woo! All right, so cut off your listening apparatus if you have not read Pact. So we're going to talk about it for just a hot second.
Care. The first thing was they mentioned Toronto.
They mentioned Toronto.
And the Red Cap Queen is there, ? Is Meg somehow involved? Question mark.
Is this
Mags...
like the last fiery darkness?
Prediction: Mags is coming back.
Mags.
Prediction:
Mags
she's back.
is coming back.
She's back to help deal with Gerhild, who may or may not have destroyed her town.
I mean, I'd say there's a good chance.
Yep.
That she destroyed her town.
It's probably her.
It's probably her. She sounds like a big jerk lady.
Yep.
Ooh, also I could say the thing that you have to edit out. Sorry. Yay. You know who could definitely help Kira Lynn out with her arms? A super amazing Scourge. So whatever. Rose. Our Rose Thorburn, if she's still kicking, you know?
God, just like a tiny mention of like, oh, I heard that there's this Scourge, and she
can scourge the shit out of.
Yeah. You're like,
she Rose will get that abyss out of your fucking business and put it back into the abyss where that belongs.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely what her practice is now.
Definitely what it is. Definitely is. Yeah, who knows what she's doing, but I feel like
it'd be funny if Rose like escalated, like she started off at the very bottom, right? She started off at diabolism and now she's at the abyss, and it'd be really funny if like she like got out of that and got to the ruins, like if she slowly worked her way up to just like karmic law or like the paths or just like something.
There's no way.
It'd be yeah, so after the ruins she'll go to the goblins. Like she just slowly
Ooh, okay, here's a prediction. What if Rose becomes a goblin queen and goes up against Gertie?
That
Gertie McGirdhill
is a vibe. Rose and goblins did not mix well.
No, they did not.
But it was fun.
But it was funny though. Okay, yeah, maybe that's not a good prediction, but it's a funny one.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
This is great. Thanks y'all for listening. Hopefully you had a good time. Again, yeah, Ruben and Elliot should be back next week. They had to take a little bit of time off, and we subbed in, obviously. We didn't really talk about that in the beginning. Kind of just jumped in.
People would just realize.
I kind of figured. Yeah, I'm sure they've realized we're not like the new hosts. But anyway, yeah, we're a little kooky, and hopefully you didn't mind the kookiness. It's also past my bedtime, but not like that far past, because that would have been a lot weirder. You know me, I get weird when I'm tired. Yep. Don't give me that look. You know, I was like start talking about like weird, like my last, the main big rant I remember is I went on a tangent about like fancy inflatable things for pools.
Yeah.
Apparently there's like rich people inflatable. Look, I'm not gonna do it again, but don't act like you didn't like it, because I know you did secretly.
It was fun.
She's never gonna. Okay, she did admit it. Okay, great. I was wrong. All right. Well, have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Bye.